Hey everyone, welcome to another LEGO fan video. Man, I've missed this so much. It's been so long since I did one of these, about 4 weeks, because there's been so much craziness going on. So, for those of you who are brand new to this channel, I am your host LEGO fan, and I post Ben 10 videos and LEGO videos. Today we're covering some Ben 10 videos, and this is the final part of the villains. These were the villains introduced or reintroduced in Ben 10 vs. the Negative 10 Part 1. And it continued into Part 2, as well as the non-canon episode of Goodbye and Good Riddance. So, this is all the villains, and there are different versions of all the villains, as you can tell. So, the way I work this is you saw all those villains. And for any Ben 10 fan, you probably know all of them. So I'm going to read off a name that I have set up in the background, and it's up to you to guess which villain it is. And when we get to the last one or ones, you have to guess which one it is. And since I'm doing it a different way, if there are multiple versions, and I'll say if there is, you have to pick out which one or ones there is. So if there's multiple versions, you have to pick out multiple ones. So starting with our first one, we have one of the circus freaks that was introduced in season 1 working for Zombozo. Then they were reintroduced with the Scare in season 3, I think. And now they're back serving in the Negative 10 under the Forever King. The first one that was introduced, well, they were all introduced at the same time, but the first one we're going to talk about is Thumbskull. So, of these villains, and I know there's a lot, which one is the villain of Thumbskull? You have 10 seconds to guess. Good luck. So this is the villain of Thumbskull. He's a mutated human who first appeared in Ben 10 vs. the Negative 10 Part 1, where he was part of the Nox heist, not really playing a major role, but in the warehouse he tried to also charge the Forever Ninja, who we'll get to, but he was thrown aside before posing with the others by Mount Rushmore. Then in the second part he tried to break into the rust bucket but was shocked by his electric shield. He did manage to get in by ripping off the door, however they fell out for a bomb and he was blown back. But by the time he recovered, he tried finding Ben outside the hatch that led inside. However, he was blown back by a laser that was fired by Grandpa Max. Then he and the others busted into the sub-energy holding cell, and he got trapped with the others in the force field after a fight. So, he doesn't really have any super abilities other than the fact that he is super strong and has a super slam attack. And he is also durable, as he was able to bend a ball on his neck with no visible pain. However, he's not really the brightest bulb in the pack, and he also is slow and has some slow reactions. He can also be affected by acid breath and is weak to electricity. And by the way, I should probably say before I continue, I'd like to thank Ben 10 Wiki for providing me with fact check, essentially, and for watch cartoons online. Watch Anime Dub for providing with the first lines that you're going to hear. There's only 2 today, so you're not going to hear much of it. So the next circus freak that we're going to get introduced to is the female one, Frightwig. Again, no first line, but let's see if you can guess which one of these is Frightwig. 10 seconds, good luck. So, Frightwig is this villain right here. She's a mutated human who first appeared in Ben 10 vs. the Negative 10 Part 1. Again, part of the Nox heist, didn't play a major role Then in the warehouse, she tried to take out the Forever Ninja, but instead wrapped her hair around Acid Breath and knocked him out. Then she was knocked out herself before posing with the others by Mount Rushmore. Then in the second part, she appeared alongside Acid Breath and Dumbskull, watching the bomb blow up. When she recovered, she was blown back by the laser. Then in the sub-energy holding cell, she was beat by Iga and got trapped in the force field with the others. So she sort of acts like the hero Medusa in the comics. She grabs items with her hair, bending and twisting them to her will. Her hair is also super durable and super strong, and can whip her hair for a brutal attack. She also can carry any sort of items with her hair, has a deadly spin attack where she jumps up, turns upside down, and spins it, sort of acting like a saw blade in a way. She's also very agile, and her hair is able to deflect any attacks. She can also climb walls with hairs and the ends of her hair, so you see these little balls on the ends. Those are hard. However, she can be dragged by any sort of items if she's not able to stop what she grabbed. And she also can be wrapped up in her own hair if you're able to do that. And there is a third member who we're going to get to later, but he has the first line. So we have to cover all the ones with no first lines first. The next one that got introduced was the one that they were trying to beat, the Forever Ninja. Of these, which one is the Forever Ninja? 10 seconds, good luck. So, the Forever Ninja is this guy right here. He is a robot who first appeared in Ben 10 vs. the Negative 10 Part 1, where he was the Forever King's right-hand man, fighting off the mutiny caused by the circus freaks and presenting the key to the king, before posing with the others by Rushmore. In Part 2, he fought 4 arms, but was tossed aside with ease outside the rust bucket. Later, he fought 4 arms again, and again was pushed aside into Mount Rushmore. After breaking into the place and into the sub-energy holding cell, he fought Max in the sub-energy holding cell and actually did beat him, so he is helpful for something. And helped Driscoll unlock the sub-energy core so that way they could make a clean getaway. However, they didn't get away, and he fought Upchuck outside Mount Rushmore and lost after taking too much damage, shut it down. So he has a grapple hook, is super agile and durable. He's also fast, a good fighter, has some swords, and some of those swords can also be laser swords. He's also somewhat strong. He is very loyal to Driscoll and has the laser whip as well as laser ninja stars. So essentially picture the updated version of picture a modern day ninja. However, if he takes too much damage, he shuts down. That's the only weakness so far in an American Ben Wolf in London in Omniverse, where he makes a reappearance. We learn that also he is weak to loud noises, as it will cause his systems to malfunction. Now we finally get to a character that actually does have multiple versions. And that villain is probably the grossest Ben 10 villain, Clancy. There are 2 versions of Clancy. Can you guess which 2 are Clancy? 10 seconds, good luck. So, Clancy has 2 versions. You have this version of him who first appeared in Season 1. And then you have this version of him who first appeared in Ben 10 vs. the Negative 10 Part 1. He's a mutated human who first appeared in Ben 10 vs. the Negative 10 Part 1, where he's part of the Seattle Highs, fighting them outside the needle before he flied off. Then on top of the needle, he fought Max, but was tossed aside with ease but he woke up and carried Rojo off to pose with the others by Mount Rushmore. In Part 2, he tried to break into the rust bucket by sending a bunch of bees onto it, but he failed and then fought 4 arms. He was then beat and blown back by the laser. In the holding cell, he's put on ice, though he somehow escaped and was trapped in the force field with the other members. So, yeah, this guy is extremely gross. He can control bugs in order to order them to make them attack people or to take them away. He can also make the bugs make him fly. He also knows bugs and what their special powers and abilities are. He appears to be very agile. He could transport by bugs. He can store bees in his coat. So this coat here that you see. And he can make a suit out of bugs, which makes him very strong and very durable. And then in this mutated state, which is how he appeared in Ben 10 vs. Negative 10 Part 1 and 2, he has all those abilities, plus the ability of flight. He's also very fast, can shoot bees from his mouth, which are durable and swarm. So he opens his mouth like a Demogorgon in Stranger Things. He can also climb vertically and has sharp claws. So, yeah. However, his bugs have numerous weaknesses as shown, where they ran away from Forearms' mucus. I just realized how gross that is. And some of the flying bugs die in water and are attracted to Grandpa Max's special medicine. And he's also shown to be a little too reliant on bugs. And I probably should also note this as well. He is not the toughest villain. He's not one of those villains that goes face to face with people. He prefers everyone else going after it. And then he's just like there, like, yeah, that's right. Just go. So he's usually not a good hand-to-hand combat person. He's more like, send my minions and I'm gonna fly away sort of person. As with Dr. Animo. And Dr. Animo has two mutated creations that appeared in Ben 10 vs. the Negative 10, Part 1 and Part 2. One in Part 1 and partially in Part 2. And then another one that appeared just in Part 2. The first one that we get introduced to is his mutated bat. Of these, which one is the mutated bat? 10 seconds, good luck. So this one right here is the mutated bat. I know it's dark, but it's the best picture I could get. So you can see that the bat grew a little bigger. It now has 4 eyes, 4 ears, 4 legs, a tail. Wow. Animo really did a number on the bat. So clearly it's a mutated bat, who first appeared in Ben 10 vs. the Negative 10 Part 1. He was Animo's ride for the entire episode, fighting alongside him in Seattle, but they were both knocked off the edge in the Seattle heist, in the Seattle battle. But he survived and managed to catch his fall along with Dr. Animo and gave Charmcaster a lift to pose with the others by Mount Rushmore, with him posing behind the king. He also managed to grab the key. Dr. Animo managed to grab the key. And in Part 2, he fought with Animo outside the hatch, but he was knocked out after the hatch closed, and it is unknown what his fate is. Probably got a really big concussion. So it can hang upside down, has a solid screech, is durable and can fly, and has no known weaknesses. Other than the fact that it could be caught off guard by being knocked with crystals, which is how it was being the Seattle heist, but even then it was not defeated. And I think one weakness that I probably should know is the fact that it doesn't have fast reaction speed, which was shown in Ben 10 vs. the Negative 10 Part 2, in which he was unable to stop the hatch since he was going on full tilt. After the mutated bat was knocked out, Animo was like, I need another ride. And called in his other mutated creation, the mutated Prairie Dog. Where he got a Prairie Dog, I have no idea. I always thought it was a gopher, because that made more logical sense, but Ben 10 Wiki and a lot of other people say it's a Prairie Dog. I'm going with Prairie Dog. So, of these, which one is the mutated Prairie Dog? 10 seconds, good luck. So, this one right here is the mutated prairie dog. This thing is absolutely ginormous and I do not want to encounter it. It's got only fur on its back. It's got really sharp claws and sharp teeth. No. So, clearly, it's a mutated prairie dog, who first appeared in Ben 10 vs. Negative 10 Part 2, in which he fought Wildmine after breaking into the plumber base, and worked with Ammo in the fight by the sub-energy, only to be caught in the force field with him. We know that Dr. Animal does break out of that force field, but it is unknown if the prairie dog did as well. Granted, the prairie dog is a good digger, so he probably was the reason why everyone got out, and then Dr. Animal was like, yeah, no, I do not want you, and probably rejected him. So it has enhanced strength and durability, it has sharp claws and teeth, and it has a tail, and as I also noted just then, it also is a good digger, able to break through concrete walls. It has no known weaknesses as it never was truly defeated or killed or in any sort of fashion. It just sort of was like, yeah, I'm part of Dr. Animal, I'm just going to charge right into the force field. So we don't really know if it has any weaknesses. So at the moment, it's currently weaknessless. Yeah. You know what I mean. And we never actually see that thing again, so we don't even know if it... So we never know if it has weaknesses. We have another villain that has multiple versions. And that's the Vilgax Droids. I count them as separate, most people don't. I count them as separate. So, of these, which 5 are the Vilgax Droids? 10 seconds, good luck. So, the Vilgax Droids, we have these ones that pilot Vilgax's ship. We have these ones, which are the most common ones that Vilgax sends out. They're sort of like flying discs in a way. These ones appeared in the episode Secret. They are sort of an upgraded version of these droids. These ones are the ones that appeared in Goodbye and Good Riddance, so they're sort of again an upgraded version of the droid. Of the flying ones, and then you have the mother droid, who appears like this. So they are a droid and robot who first appeared in Goodbye and Good Riddance, fighting Diamond and the school before all of them were destroyed. Then they later were by Vilgax's side, helping out in both the fight in the house, in which both were destroyed, as well as the final battle, though every single one of those droids was destroyed. So some are good with technology, some can hack technology, some can fly, some can shoot lasers, some can send out other droids, some have a powerful jump. They all can survive in space, and possibly all of them can merge with people, though we only see the flying one merge with someone, as we're going to get to later. So, they also all have an Omnitrix tracker, and some can shoot lightning, and they are all pretty durable. However, a lot of them can easily be torn apart with enough force. They are also single-mindedly focused on getting the Omnitrix, as that is their program. They are made to get the Omnitrix for Vilgax. They are also vulnerable to heat. Now, let us actually get into first lines, with the first one that gets the line being Acid Breath. I'm just screwing some stuff around right now. Here's Acid Breath's first line, right now. And that was Acid Breath's first line, the last member of the Circus Freaks. Do you know which one of these is Acid Breath? 10 seconds, good luck. So, Acid Breath is this one right here. He is a mutated human who first appeared in Ben 10 vs. Negative 10 Part 1. Part of the Noxites, playing a more pivotal role than the others, blowing open the safe and the security camera before doing a coup on the king. But he was knocked out by Fright Rig before he even could do anything, and then posed with the others by Mount Rushmore. In part 2, he ordered Thumbskull to rip off the door before being blown back by the bomb. He then recovered and tried finding Ben outside the hatch, but was blown back by the laser. Then when they all broke into the sub-energy base, he was trapped with the others in the force field. And as the name implies, he has acidic breath that can dissolve items. He also is shown to be somewhat agile, and besides his acidic breath, he also has acidic spit as well, which could come out as puke as well. One power I didn't know is that he is the leader of the circus freaks oftentimes. Thumbskull is muscle, Frightwig is Frightwig, and Acid Breath is the leader. Frightwig is sort of like second in command, and then Thumbskull is, he's the muscle. Let's just put it as that. However, he is useless if his mouth is covered or put out, like with a fire extinguisher. And as seen in the first episode, he could be restrained by a harness over his mouth. He also has slow reactions and can be affected by his own breath if it's deflected back at him. However, it's not as severe. Something tells me he can make it acidic or not, because most of the times if someone breathes it in, they won't be have their insides dissolving or something. They'll just more be choking. Unless it's probably you need to inhale a whole oxygen tank full before it actually affects you. Now we finally get a villain that actually does have a lot of stuff going on with her. And that's with these remaining 3, who are all the same version of one character. And that villain is with this first line.
Sorry, this elevator is no longer in service. Going down.
Do you know who this villain is? 10 seconds. Good luck. So, this villain is the villain known as Rojo. This is her in her human form. So she doesn't really have much going on. Got a little biker suit. Got a nice fancy gun. In her first appearance, she managed to merge with the droid and looked like this. So she still retained her biker outfit, only now she's more mechanical. Then in her final appearance in the Negative Town, she looked like this. She got some of her armor, and that is pretty much it. So, that was her first line. She's a human, but when merged with the drone, she clearly is half robot. Who first appeared in Ben 10 vs. the 9010 Part 1, where she was part of the Seattle Heights, getting rid of the elevator that the gang was riding in before participating in the fight, but she was taken out by Max. She then got the key, but was stopped after Ben dropped on top of her before being carried off by Clancy and posing with the others by Rushmore. In part 2, she tried to blast the Vest Biker with her laser, but failed and instead was blasted back toward the mountain, before she was later blown back by the bomb. Later, she recovered and followed Ben down the hatch, only to be blown back by another bomb. Jeez. Then in the sub-energy holding cell, she was blasted back by Gwen, and then got trapped in with the others in the force field. She also escaped at some point, because she does make other reappearances, though she never makes any more major appearances. So she has a laser gun, and with the drone, she has lasers on her shoulder, flight, Omnitrix tracker when activated, super jump, durable strength, and sharp claws. With the armor, she also is durable, and she also has claws, and she has a laser as well. As you can see, she's firing. Weaknesses, however, she is single-minded again the Omnitrix. Her claws can pulverize stuff, which often disappoints her. When Vilgax talks to her, she is weakened with a severe headache, and she's also vulnerable to heat. I should probably also note that she is also a gang leader, and the fact that she can ride a motorcycle and is pretty fast and good on a motorcycle. And that is all of the villains that appeared in Season 4. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time when we're going to cover the Allies. See you then!